Imagine a huge river of leads knocking on your door, wanting to do business with you. Sound too good to be true? I'm going to be sharing with you 47 explosive ways to boost your lead gen. Right, so multifaceted marketing, not to be confused with multi-level marketing. Don't want to do that. Multifaceted marketing is what you need for your contracting business. Essentially, there's going to be streams of leads coming in. It could be through email, could be your website, could be referrals. All these little streams of leads turn into a huge raging river of potential clients for your business. So I'm going to be going through 47 different ways in which you can improve your lead gen and have more streams coming into your business. You want to stick around right to the end because all of these could be the game changer for you to really give you that huge success that you want in your business. As always, make sure to give this video a big thumbs, likes up. Super appreciate you for doing that. All right, so jumping in, there's going to be kind of large categories, which I'm going to mention, and then I'm going to have a bunch of different little kind of things that you can do inside of each category. So the first one, first and foremost, what you need to get started with is your demographics and your niche. And this is figuring out your ideal client avatar. So it's really important, lots of worksheets online. I've got one if you want, reach out to me and I could probably send it to you. But you want to be really clear on who is your ideal client, what are your ideal services you're going to provide for that client, what are their wishes, what are their wants, what are their frustrations, what do they get angry about, where do they live, how much money do they make, how many kids do they have. So all these different things, the better you know your client, the better you can market to them, the more leads you're going to be able to pull through because your marketing is going to resonate and it's going to land with them because they specifically know that you're talking and speaking to them through your marketing efforts. So that's the first one. We got 47. So buckle in, stay tuned. So that section is pretty easy. The second section I'm going to mention is your website. So website is huge. That besides maybe your Google profile, but your website is going to be where people get an understanding of, what you do and what your services are. So the first thing you're going to want to check out is your Facebook and Google tracking code. So with Facebook, if you have a Facebook ads account or you have a Google ads account, even if you don't have ads, you're not doing ads, you still want to get the tracking code because later on, maybe a year or 2 years in the future, whenever it is, you're going to want at some point to be running paid ads and you're going to want to have that tracking data in place and those analytics in place so that whoever's doing the online advertising for you, whether it's yourself or a marketing agency, they can then see, where are clients coming from. You've got Google pixels or Facebook pixels that are tracking. So you can then target all the people that have visited your website in the past because it's a lot cheaper to spend advertising on specific people that have visited your website or, that have searched you on Google than it is to just, blatantly advertise to the masses. So trust me on that. It's a good thing. Get that set up. Next thing you want to be looking at your website is take a step back and look at it like an objective view or maybe ask like a friend or a colleague or someone to take a look at your website. Does it look modern? Does it look attractive? Again, is it resonating with your ideal client? If you want to do really high-end work and you want high-end clients, which, a lot of contractors want, then is that actually resonating with that type of client? Does your website look high-end? Does it look polished? Does it look neat? Does it speak to that type of a clientele? So you want to make sure that maybe you are more of just like the friendly builder or the green builder or, maybe the local neighborhood builder. It doesn't have to be super high, end or like super big, like slick design, but it needs to look appealing and attractive to your ideal client. So does that make sense? So take an objective look. And if it doesn't meet the mark, that's somewhere that you want to be looking into to improve your lead gen. As I'm going through, there's going to be ones where you're like, I think I'm okay with that. There's going to be ones like, wow, I'm not even doing that. I didn't even know about that. So keep a list and keep in your mind, like what are priority? What are quick wins? Like some of these will be easier to implement than others. So which ones will be easy to implement and give you the biggest bang for your buck? Those are the ones you want to start with. Once you get all of these in place, come back, watch the video again to get new ideas and stuff like that. But once all these are in place, you are not going to have a leads problem if you've set this up correctly. So keep on moving. We got a bunch to get through here. So next one, quick and easy, check the site speed of your website. So there's lots of online directory or online websites where you can just, Google, check my website speed, put your website in there. It should load in 3 seconds or less. If it's taking longer than 3 seconds to load your homepage of your website, go to your web developer, or if you're still doing that yourself, you need to update your homepage, maybe use smaller images or figure out, usually it'll give you a list. These sites will give you a list of the different things that you can do to help speed up your website. But a fast website is important so people don't bounce. If you're like me, if you wait, more than 3 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, it's like, yeah, I'll just go to the next thing. So especially nowadays, it's going to get more and more. Make sure your speed is good. The next thing on your website is your header, phone phone number and your social links. So the top of your website, you're going to have a header. Make sure your phone number and you have social links there. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you have content, LinkedIn, make sure that those are easily clickable on the top there because you want more people involved. Nowadays, it's not simply a matter of people finding you online. They really want to see, is this person who they say they are? Are they actually like a leader in their space? So they may check out your website and then they're going to go check out your Facebook and they're going to go check out your Instagram and they're going to get a feeling of your business. So make sure that that's easily selectable in your header there. The next thing you want to check out is, do you have authentic videos and images? Are they just very stock images? Are they not even of your projects? So you can use, images from elsewhere. They don't have to be specifically your pictures, but authentic pictures of yourself or your team or projects that you've done in your area are going to resonate best. So make sure you have authentic, well, like groomed pictures, and you want to give a finished picture. People aren't purchasing your services to see a house during renovation with, framing and walls or insulation or anything like that. They want to see what's it going to look like at the end. They're hiring you to do a service to get a result. The thing that's going to attract them to you is that end result. So your pictures should be, if you do kitchens, it should show finished, beautiful kitchens. If you do new home builds, it should show a new home build from the outside, nice manicured lawn, and it's like you can just drive up to your new beautiful home, right? That's what people want to see. I don't like the before and after pictures. Again, if you have like a web developer and they're telling you other things, take it with a grain of salt. Generally speaking, though, look at other competitors who are really at a high level in your market, and that'll probably give you a pretty good indication of like how your website should look or some of the elements it should have. But on a website, again, beautiful, nice, finished pictures is what you're going for. Moving on, make sure that's mobile friendly. So if you're always looking at it on your computer, make sure you're pulling up your website on your phone, scrolling through it, clicking the links. Is this easy? Are things big, or is it like little text that you have to read? And like, is it like, does it look like a desktop and you got to zoom around and move stuff? So check if it's mobile friendly. And if there's anything that doesn't work well on your phone, make sure you're getting that changed right away for your website. So as you can see, there's a lot of little details. And like I said, these are all small streams or all small things that when added together build a huge lead gen, rush river to your business. So it's really important to get all these little things. And this is honestly why a lot of contractors struggle with marketing, is because you've probably never really realized how many different things are really important and how every little thing about marketing, every little thing that you do is marketing, and it all ties back into how many leads and business is coming into your business. So moving on, next thing for your website, you want to have call to actions. So on your website should have like call us now or get your free quote or something like that, a call to action, some sort of action that they need to take. And it should be kind of peppered across your website. Your website should be a nice juicy steak. And then the call to actions are just like that extra little bit of sizzle, right? That's going to get them to say, hey, this looks like a good company. I want to reach out to them, get a free quote, get a call, consultation, whatever it is. Make sure you have got that call to action there. And then next thing is chat or text. So most people nowadays are not going to call you. So your phone number there is nice. Some people will. Probably people that already know you and forgot your phone number who go to your website to find your phone number. That's probably more likely that people are going to call you. So you want to have text enabled. It's pretty easy nowadays. You just throw a widget on your website so people can message or text you directly from the website, not just the form. So yes, you want to have a contact us form where they fill in their name and the message and, maybe their budget for the project or whatever. So that you want that. You want that little, pop-up text thing that's probably you get annoyed at with some sites because it's like it pops up all the time, but it just needs to be a button that then they can click on, because a lot of people, especially nowadays, they just want a message. Maybe they got a quick question. It's just another way that makes it easier for them to contact you. Get that enabled on your website. It's not super difficult. Next thing is keyword titles and city names. So go to your website. If your city name is not consistently on your pages, your location, your area, you need to change that right away, because that is what Google's looking for. With contracting, you have an advantage because you can be very location based. So you're not competing against, everybody in your state or everybody even in your city. If you service a certain neighborhood or certain, area of your city, make sure that that is very prominent within your website across your different pages, because you want Google to know, hey, this contractor is in this area. So anybody who's searching for contractors in this area, we're going to direct them to that page. And it helps you kind of get rid of a lot of competition because you are specifically speaking to that specific geographical area. So there may only be another, 10, 20 contractors in your neighborhood or that area of the city. Whereas if you've just got your city name or state name, now you're competing against possibly hundreds of different contractors. So making sense? All right. So moving on, next one here, you want to have separate pages for each core service. So this is getting into like SEO type stuff, but if you do home home building and you do renovations or full home renos, or maybe you do residential and commercial, have separate pages for each, because again, for search engine optimizations, people are searching, commercial contractor in my area. You want them, that commercial page is going to speak and hit SEO markers a lot better than just some general page about, building services or something like that. So you want to have separate pages for the separate services that you offer. Plus, it gives those people who are a little bit more detail oriented, or those data type persons are like, I want to know everything there is to know about, this specific service that you offer before I contact you. So it helps for that as well. Next thing I'm going to mention is backlinks. So backlinks are how many other links across the internet are pointing to your website. And Google takes that as kind of a strength of your website. So if a lot of people are pointing at your website, hey, go check out this website, hey, check out this website, then Google is going to say, wow, a lot of people are interested and this must be a good site. Of course, those people are all some weird random websites. It's not going to work so well. If they are larger websites, like maybe, your home builders association or contractors association of your city, some of the larger maybe listing sites, then that's going to carry more weight than some random, small site that's you just put your website name on. So not going to get super into backlinks, but again, you can go online, search website SEO analyzer, something like that, and you can analyze your website. It'll tell you the different backlinks you have. The best kind of rule of thumb for this is to go to every listing site you can. So Google, Bing, Yahoo, Angie's List, Trusted Pros. So there's a lot of different of these listing directories, and you can just search contractor listing directories. I've got a big list that we set up our clients with. So there's like 30, 40, maybe 50 by now, plus listing sites that we list our clients on so that they are, being searched and there's a lot of links going to their website. But just get started with the big ones and that'll already give you a big boost. Next thing you want to have is client reviews on your website. So if you do not have a bunch of good client reviews, at least 5, hopefully more, 5 to 10 client reviews, it builds that personal social trust for people that are searching your website. And websiting is probably like one of the big areas that I'm going to focus on here. So that's why there's a lot of different things. Some of these other areas will have fewer points to talk about. Not that they're not as important necessarily, but the website is like a very large part of your marketing efforts because all your leads are going to go there. And based on that is generally how they're going to contact you. So yeah, client reviews. And then you want to make sure that your contact form on your website is linked to your CRM. So if you're using like a builder trend or a contractor foreman, or if you're using like HubSpot or high level CRM, Pipedrive, whatever it is, you want to make sure that the form on the website is then linked to your CRM so that it's a direct link and you don't have to like go around searching for, hey, that person sent me an email through my contact form and now I got to go find them or whatever. It should all be automated systems so that you can set up automations for when you should reach out to them, how long ago it's been since you reached out, what the communication was, all that kind of stuff. That's getting more into the sales-ish side. So we're sticking with marketing here. And then finally, have a careers page for applications on your website. This is something not a lot of contractors have. And the reason for this is because it's marketing for employees, but it also does help with clients as well because they can see, oh, they're hiring. This is a growing business. And it kind of brings more attention to your business. And applicants who maybe apply to your business, they now know you and they now know your business, and they can possibly be people that could refer your business in the future or help you with finding clients. And employees can generate referrals as well. I wouldn't like push towards it, but they can be a referral source as well. Little bonus one there. So still with me here, take a little step back here. I know, like I said, this is a lot of stuff, but come back to this video after you've watched it. Pick like maybe the 10 top ones that I've mentioned and really hone in on that. Go through this, set like a quarterly goal for this quarter to get all of these in place that I mentioned. And I guarantee you will see a big boost in lead gen within every subsequent quarter for the rest of this year or next year, depending on when you're watching this video. But this is huge. And if you can solve the marketing issue for your business, you are on a path to big success and big profitability, because now it's not a matter of getting more leads to grow. It's about limiting the supply of your business so that you can build up demand, raise your prices, and become even more profitable and grow like organically, but in a really profitable way that's putting a lot of money in your pocket. And few people can master that, but I guarantee you with all these leads coming in, that is something that can be a reality for you. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be talking about, which I touched on earlier, was online listing directories. So this is area number 3, online listing directories. So get listed, like I said, 30, 40, 50 plus listing directories. There are a lot out there. Start with the top ones and get those in place and then continue to add more as you have time. But all the search engines, like I mentioned, a lot of listing sites where, there's like paid leads, like those paid leads listing sites. I'm not a big believer in paid leads. I know they work for some people. So, I mean, if it works for you, great. If your ROI is healthy, then go for it. But at the very least, list your business on there because, again, it's just another thing that's pointing to your business. It's another place where clients may be looking for your services. They may search on there and find your business that way. So that's a big one. A verified Google My Business listing is another thing. So Google is the big dog in the business, as everybody knows. And if you're not on Google, you probably have bigger issues unless you've been around for a really long time and just have really good, word of mouth built up. But get a Google My Business listing and get it verified. And then you want to make sure that it's optimized. So you want to have pictures. So put a lot of pictures on your Google profile. Make sure your info is filled out again for your specific area, all that thing, the different services you offer, some little bits of write up, do a few posts. You can like post through there as well. Build out whatever kind of information you can put in your Google profile listing, put that in there and continually add more pictures because Google is ranking you against, all your competitors. And if they have, 10 Google reviews and 50 pictures uploaded and you've got, one Google review and maybe 3 pictures, they're going to show them because they have more reputation, they have more weight as far as Google's concerned. It also depends how long you've been on Google My Business. So that has, there's other factors that come into it. Generally speaking, more reviews that you can get, the better. So always be asking for reviews from clients, go to past clients. If you're just starting out, even like character references and stuff like that, you want to be a little careful that it's like legitimate and people should be honest and everything. But if they know that you've been like a builder before or that you are experienced, tradesperson or whatever, they can speak to that, right? So get those reviews, ideally 5 stars, and reply to all the reviews. I don't know how many contractors I see, they've got like 10, 20, 30 reviews and they've maybe replied to a handful, if any. So make sure you're replying, just thanking them. Thank you for your review. I loved your project. You did a great job, all that kind of stuff. So get that done and just make sure you're responding. So that's online directories. The more, the better. And then just make sure you respond to any and get as many reviews that you can. Google's a big one. Like I said, if you can get reviews on like, some other ones like Facebook or maybe Bing or something like that. I'm not too familiar with the other search engines because honestly, Google is the one that you need. So that is online directories. Next, we're going to be talking about social media. Love it or hate it. It's here to stay and it's a big part of any marketing strategy. I have my own beliefs and views on social media, and it's something that I don't personally try to use too much, even though I'm very active and put out a lot of content. But you want to have the differentiator of being a consumer and being a creator. So you need to be a creator. This is something you can get other people to do. It's not going to be as authentic. I'm not going to get into specifics of social media marketing because there's other videos on that. I've got other videos on that, how to, create and everything about social media. But when we talk about just the avenues of bringing more leads, you want to make sure that your profiles are optimized. So have a good cover photo, generally with your logo. If it's something like your personal Facebook page, then you may just want one of, your family or some nice vacation you took, but it should ideally show yourself in there and, some of the people in your life possibly to give like, a good feel and just people become more familiar with you. But on any of the other ones, you should have like a dedicated profile for your business. So like a Facebook page, Instagram, profile for your business. Honestly, just get on all of them, just set them up. Even if you're not posting a whole bunch, just get on all these different social media channels. And there are a lot of multiple kind of hosting software where you can just post like a post and it'll put it on all your social channels. So it's no longer the case where you kind of gotta, if I've got, TikTok and I've got Instagram and I've got X or Twitter, and then I've got to, spend all my day long just posting on all these different things. You should be delegating that, but even if you can't delegate it, there's a lot of software where you can just kind of push it out to everybody. So you want to be posting on the channels. I would say at least weekly. They don't have to be big. Just take a picture of the site, take a picture of what you're doing, shoot a quick video if you're not comfortable getting on video yet. Just even show your project, walk through the project, and just, you don't even have to talk. You could just put some music over it, but just say, hey, this is our project we're doing. This is the new kitchen we just installed, or the cabinets are going in tomorrow. Here's the flooring or whatever. If you can give a little bit of advice or tidbit, like, yeah, we went with hardwood flooring here because the clients wanted, something more luxurious, but we didn't go with the really cheap hardwood flooring because that stuff generally only lasts, 10 years, or we've had issues with supply before. So we went with, this kind instead. So whatever, just a little bit of explanation, but video is huge. And that's kind of the direction where a lot of these social platforms are going, is video is big. So get comfortable on video and put out video once per week, but it could be a picture. It could just be a quick, text or whatever, but try to do weekly at least. And again, just push it out to everything at the same time. Outreach to local podcasts and news channels. So look in your city. Often you'll have like some sort of business podcasts going on. Reach out to them and say, hey, I'm a contractor here. I've been in business for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Maybe you're just a new guy starting out. It's like, hey, we can do like a startup episode for contractors, or maybe maybe you've been in business for 10, 20 years, just like, I'd love to share my experience with your audience. I've been in business for, 20 years building homes or whatever it is. Craft a bit of an email, send it off to them, give them a phone call, whatever it is. But guaranteed there are podcasts in your city, in your area that can help bring in clients, and it's evergreen content. Once it goes out there in the podcast world, you're reaching a whole new audience. Plus you're sharing, insightful knowledge. You're looked at as the professional, which is going to really help you resonate with clients, and it's going to be searchable for a long time. Just make sure that, again, your specific area or city name is in the title of the video, because Google, for like YouTube videos, for even some podcasts, Google search will show those results in their Google search, just on through regular Google search. So really important. You're seeing how all of these can make a huge difference in your contracting business. News channels as well, a little bit harder, but again, depending on who you know and what you're able to do, you can reach out to news channels, newspapers, let them know they want a story. So podcasts are a little easier because it's generally you can get on, you can speak about your experience. With news channels and newspapers and more like more media, like regular type media, I don't know what we call it exactly, but old school media, they want a story. So you could talk about maybe the recession, how it's affected your business. You could talk about the changes this year of home builders' tastes in homes or something. You need some sort of a kind of like a hook or a story, generally for those publications. And the more that you can kind of provide them on a silver platter of like, hey, this is a really cool, interesting story. Why don't you let me tell it to you, get together or whatever. So those can be huge because, again, if you can get on the news, in a newspaper, it's essentially free advertising and it reaches a really large audience. And then use local and business name hashtags. So whenever you are doing social media, be sure to hashtag your city or your area, contracting in XYZ, company, or have your company hashtag name in there. So again, that just helps you get the message out to more people. So that is social media. Those are all the things I'm going to mention about social media. Take action on those, get it done, moving on. So we got a few more here. Still with me. If you're still with me, I applaud you, and getting these done, again, it'll do wonders for you. So kudos to you putting in the work to actually taking the time, figure out all these 47 different ways. I've actually got more than 47, got a couple bonus ones at the end because, hey, why wouldn't I over deliver? So next thing I'm going to be talking about is email. So this is, I don't know, area number 4, I think. Are we on number 4? Maybe 5? We'll see. Email. This is probably one of the simplest ones to get set up, and the one I probably almost most of the contractors I talk to are missing or don't really do effectively. So it's very easy for email. MailChimp is the one I always go to just because it's easy to get set up. It's free for the trial. I think it's just free. You may only get like a small trial now. It used to be free anyways. There's other ones, and it's even the paid ones very inexpensive. Get MailChimp or something similar for your email marketing. Go to your QuickBooks or your accounting software, whatever that is. Go to your project management software, your CRM software. Pretty much all of them, you can export a list, a CSV, Excel file list of all your customers' names and their information and their data and whatever else. Export that into a file. You can then upload that file into your email marketing software, and now you've got a list. Depending on how long you've been in business, it may be 20 people, it may be 500 people. Whatever it is, do not worry about the size of the list. The more important thing is you get a list and you get it in place. Once that list is in place, now you're going to schedule emails to go out every month. I've got templates for this. We've got multiple year and templates that we just set up for contractors, but you can essentially, you don't have to be a wonderful writer, especially nowadays with Chat GPT or Gemini for Google, these AIs. You just like, there's a good way to do it and there's an easier way to do it, but essentially just to get started, go in there, say who your ideal client is. Like, I build homes for people in this area and for this demographic. Put in your demographics, that ideal client avatar I mentioned in the beginning. If you've gone through a worksheet, copy that whole worksheet and just put it into the AI. The more information you can feed it, the better. And now it knows your demographic. It knows the people that you want to reach, the services you provide, what their fears are, what their wants are, why they hire you. If you've done a good job of creating that ideal client avatar document, put that in your AI, tell them, hey, this is my ideal avatar. I want to write an email, monthly email, and then just type in, I want it to be on the topic of, maybe spring cleanup or getting started with construction projects in spring, or, Father's Day or Mother's Day or whatever kind of holiday it is that month. So put in some basic information, let it go. If you don't like the output, ask it to revise it, but it's really easy nowadays. Get those scheduled out, sit down and batch your content, batch your emails. This could be for social media or email, and just sit down, hunker down for maybe 2 hours. Once you've got that script in place that I mentioned, you can just copy that into AI, every time, and then give it a little bit of information of like what kind of the general topic and content you want in the email. It'll build it out for you. Schedule out 3, 6, 12 months emails at a time, and you're set. Set it and forget it, and you don't have to worry about the emails going out anymore. Email is huge, and it's a great way to keep your audience warm. These are people that have already done business to you. It's always easier to sell and market to people that have done business with you, that already know you. So that's why email is so important and a really big part of any large lead gen strategy. So still with me here. I've got a few more things. So you want to have an automated welcome email. So again, you can set up whenever someone subscribes to your list, then they should get an email. Hey, welcome to our email list. We share great content on here. Here's our social media profiles for you to go check out our other great content that we share across our social media, or something like that. Or schedule, a free consultation if you'd like to get a free estimate or something like that. So have that automated email that goes out. And as I mentioned before on your website with that form where people put in their contact information from the form and then it links to your CRM, you can also set up an automation so that contact information now goes into your email list. Just make sure you have that little checkbox of like they agree to receive email communications, from you or whatever, subscribe to your email list, whatever you need to do. Essentially, everybody that comes in contact with you can then go onto the email list and you can continue to keep them warm and give them great information. Use a template for your emails. So I mentioned before, like, with AI, you can have that kind of prompt template to give to AI. But even just in MailChimp or whatever email marketing platform that you use, have a template in there so you can just copy the text, maybe change the picture of it. Can be really quick once you have that template in place. Schedule 12 months at a time is the goal. Email follow-up and review templates. So with email as well, you want to have templates for follow-up. So if you haven't heard back from them in a week or two, you can create snippets in your email to quickly send out over to them. And then review templates. So whenever a client has completed a project with you, have a standard kind of email or text message that you send to the client, asking for a review. Make it very easy with a link in there to your Google review. You can get a specific link that when they click it, it'll bring up your company and a review thing. They just fill in the review and submit it. It's super simple. So make sure you've got that kind of an email template too. You can just send off to clients after they've completed a project. Lead magnets are out there as well. So this one is one of those ones that's going to have a good payoff and can be really effective, but it's going to take some time for you. So it's probably best to get someone to set this up for you. Again, you as a contractor, as a business owner, you should be a master at delegating and communicating to other people in order to get things done for you and running your business financially in a way that makes sense for you then to have money set aside that you can hire the right people to get these things in place. But lead magnets, super important. You could have something like design guides for, new homes, 20 contractors, 20 top checklists, things to make sure that you are getting right before you start planning your project, something like that. You want to be early in the conversation because generally people are going to be, you don't want to give something like quality checklist or something that happens during a project or later in a project. You want something like in the planning stage or really early on that a client's like, hey, I want that. And, they click on it, they give you their information, they go on your email list and they get this free, download. If you could write like a small booklet or something of like, 20 things to avoid when hiring a contractor, something to do with that. Because a lot of people, especially if they don't have like no contractors, they read the horror stories and they're have animosity, they're not sure. So you create a book, make sure you get references, make sure that you look into their past history, have they done projects similar to yours? So you can really set the tone as far as who they're looking for a contract and obviously kind of give yourself that leg up by having a lead magnet. So it works in more ways than just getting their information. It actually positions you as an authority or a really experienced, business in your space. And then another last thing we're going to touch on with email and email marketing is in the footer of your email. So whenever you send an email, you've probably seen you've got that footer that's like auto-generated. If you've got whatever email platform you use, you always have that. Most people just have kind of their name, their business, maybe their website. You need to go a step further, have your logo in there, have a small picture of your logo, have it clickable to your website, have your website address, and then have links to all your social profiles. So LinkedIn, Instagram, all your social profiles that we mentioned before, have that in the footer of your email. And that way, whenever you send an email, you're doing marketing and it gives people a really easy thing like, hey, they have an Instagram page, click, they go there, they follow you. It's a way to like get people involved in your ecosystem, this multifaceted marketing that I mentioned before. Once you have all these things working for you, it becomes a bit like magic and you just have leads coming from everywhere because every small thing strengthens other things. So there's this like exponential cumulative effect that happens throughout your organization. It is a really beautiful thing and an amazing thing. And again, if you can nail this, if you can nail marketing in your contracting business, you are so far ahead of so many other contractors and you'll avoid so many of those ups and downs and really be able to just, have a much better managed and well-run business. All right, so that's email marketing. Still with me here. We're going for the long haul, Hail Mary all the way to the end zone for touchdowns for you. So stay tuned. And we've got, I think, 3 more areas left, 3 more areas till the last one. And then what I'm going to mention next is number, I believe around 5 here. I could be off, so forgive me. Paid ads. So paid ads, this is something I would generally say hire someone to do this. Again, you don't want to be the expert in all these marketing stuff because you should understand marketing, like that ideal client and these different areas of how marketing like interact and like copy and what attracts people and kind of the psychology of marketing. The technical side of things, if you're just starting out, you probably need to do it yourself because you may not have a bunch of money to invest in this. But if you are an operating business, this should be part of your overhead. You should have a marketing budget and you should be able to hire people to get this stuff done for you or have an admin on your team who can get this done for you. It's not something you need to do yourself. Anyways, paid ads, optimize spending for best ROI. So if you have hired someone, make sure that they are giving you updates monthly and that they're giving you the data of this is how much it's costing you per lead. These are the search terms that are working best. This is how many people contacted you or went to your website or whatever. They should be very open book about the results they're getting you. If you've hired a marketing company and it's been 3 months or 6 months or longer and you haven't really seen much for leads, you've got a problem. You need to talk to them about that and tell them either you guys need to shape up and get me some leads or, stop charging me for it until you do, or I need to look somewhere else. So marketing agencies, there's a lot of good ones out there and there's a lot of ones that just for whatever reason can't hit the mark, even though they're doing, it looks like the right things, but results is what counts and what matters. So check your ROI, make sure that it is what you're spending is worth it. There's a whole calculation for checking out your acquisition cost for clients. Essentially, you add up. It's a little bit off to the side, but it's very important to understand. So I'm going to explain it to you just as quick as I can here, as simple as I can. Essentially, to find out your acquisition cost for clients, go to your overhead of your accounting, figure out for the past 12 months, whatever the trailing 12 months. So if it's July now, that'd be like June to the previous June, July. So the last 12 months, everything you spent on marketing, this could be equipment, it could be paying people to do ads or your website development, so anything to do with sales and marketing. And if you've categorized things properly in your accounting, it should be pretty easy to figure that out. So let's say you spent last year $10,000 on marketing. You now take that and you divide it by the amount of leads you got. And then you divide it by the amount of clients that you got. So now you know how much it costs you per lead and how much it costs you per client. And if you don't know those numbers, if any of that is like, I don't have those numbers, then go watch my financial videos because you need to understand how to set up a CRM and how to be tracking leads and tracking sales and knowing your overhead costs, knowing your financials essentially. So anyways, that'll give you a clear indication of like, hey, I'm spending $200 per client or I'm spending $30 per lead. And that'll start to clue you into like, hey, spending $5 per lead to come from Google, maybe that's worth it for you if you're doing new home builds or you're doing large projects. If you're a smaller contractor doing like bathroom renovations, then spending a couple $100s on a lead maybe is not worth it to you, depending where things are at, or you need to build that into your estimate. Anyways, going off tangent here, getting back to it, let's run through this. We got 47. Stay with me here. Retargeting ads to prospects. So I mentioned the Google and Facebook pixel before in earlier on. You want to make sure you're retargeting your ads to people that have visited your website or clicked on your ads and things like that, because these are people that have already seen your logo, probably seen your website, so you want to be retargeting them. Do A/B testing. So your marketing agency should know this, or if you're doing yourself, then figure it out. A/B testing, you're running an ad with this picture as opposed to running an ad with this picture or with this headline opposed to this headline. And then you can quickly easily see, hey, this headline gives me, I'm only paying maybe $3 per click instead of $5 per click with this other headline. So then you cancel the other one and you start the new one. So do A/B testing, conversion tracking. So just what I mentioned before is having those stats to know not just what people are clicking on, but what people are actually clicking on and then calling you or asking for a quote, because you can have a catchy headline or some sort of scandalous picture and people are going to click on it, or those clickbait type stuff, but they're not actually going to take action, right? So that's why conversion tracking is really important. And then there's the pay per lead services, which I mentioned earlier, not like a giant fan of, but I know contractors who have had success with them and it is part of their marketing strategy. The reason I'm not a big fan of them is because generally they're selling that that lead to a lot of different contractors. And the people coming through those sites are generally shoppers. They want to go shopping. They want to know, here's McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's, and which one, has the cheapest deal, or do I feel like going to today? So that's what they're looking for. But again, some people it works for. Maybe in your area, there's not a lot of people on those sites. So for you, you're getting good stuff in them. I would say, depending on your marketing budget, it may again be worth trying out. Try out a few of them, spend 100, 200, $300, whatever you can kind of afford, do a trial. If you get action from it and it's worth it, again, knowing your cost of acquisition, if it's cheaper than that, then hey, just run that vending machine all day and keep pulling leads out of it. So that's paid ads. Moving on, I think we're on number 6 here, tracking and CRM. So cost per lead and acquisition. So cost per lead and acquisition, I told you how to figure out that before. CRM for tracking data. So get a CRM in place. HubSpot is like free, generally not too hard to set up. There's other free ones out there, so no excuse not to have our CRM. And even if you get one and it's not that good, it's better than nothing. And you can always transfer your contacts and the data from one to another. So even if you can't get a really good one right now, I suggest that you do get started with any, because later you can just transfer that data to whatever other one you decide to use down the road. You should have a dashboard set up. If you don't have a dashboard, at least a spreadsheet that's showing you leads and where they came from and how many leads turned into customers. And that is kind of like basic data that you should be checking every month. So you can see, are leads going up? Are they going down? That's going to alert you to maybe 3 months or 6 months down the road. Hey, leads have been really slow these past 3 months. We have a lot of projects right now, but those haven't been turning into clients. You can then foresee, we've got an issue. Maybe I need to, throw another $5,000 or something into marketing, or really pick up my social media output, or do something to kind of help bring those leads in so that I'm not going to be stressed out in 3 months or 6 months when I don't have any work. All right. So next thing is Google Analytics setup. So get your Google Analytics set up, and then Google Search Console. So those are different things. Google Search Console, just search for it, get it set up, and it shows you more on the search side of things, how many people are searching and clicking through to your business. Whereas Google Analytics is more about the actual traffic on your business. So separate things, kind of similar kind of stuff that they do, but both very important, again, to be analyzing and tracking and optimizing how you are marketing your company. And with any of these, what I should mention is you always want to find, like, the reason you do so many of these things is not because you want to spend a whole bunch of time or money on doing like everything under the sun. You want to see what works for you. And some of the stuff is like set and forget. So that kind of stuff you definitely just want to set up, because the amount of time to pay off is going to be exponential, because maybe it takes 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get yourself set up on an online directory, and you're going to be on there forever essentially. So something like that, the trade-off is huge. Things like social media, if you are posting on TikTok and it's taking you time away from like other things, like, again, you should have automations that doesn't take any of your time. But if something's taking your time, it's not really working well, then you could give up on it, or you could at the very least just really spend the least amount of time as possible. What you're looking for is things that really work well for you. So where are your leads coming from? And you want to double down on that. Are a lot of the leads coming through my form on my website? Well, then I should be promoting people to go to my website and use the form, fill that out, because it's working well. Are a lot of leads coming through Facebook? This is my Facebook page, like a main driver of leads. So, ask clients, where did you find us? How did you hear about us? And then figure out where are the good clients coming from, where are a lot of the leads coming from. Double down on that. That could go for like Google ads or Facebook ads as well. Is one working better than the other? I had a client once who he was spending advertising money on 3 different platforms. Within like talking to him for about 20 minutes, it helped save him hundreds of dollars a month and not waste a lot of his time, because it was like, okay, so you're spending like $3 per lead over here, and over here you're spending about like $12 per lead. So why are you still spending the same amount of money here and here? You should lower this to like, $100 maybe, to see if you can optimize and somehow it works out, and then raise this to like $1,000, per month for ad spend. So double down and spend money and time where it's effective. But you want to be doing a lot of things, because you need to test the waters and see where it's effective, and doing other things also strengthens everything, because some people will see you in multiple different places. So making sense? You with me? Are you seeing how this can make a huge difference? Got 2 more here. Stay with me. Physical marketing. So far everything's been online, because nowadays everybody is online, but physical marketing is still a big part of marketing. And so you want to have a truck wrap or a decal. If you don't have the money or inclination, you don't want to be that flashy to have a huge decal across your truck. At the very least, have your logo or a small decal on your truck somewhere, or SUV or car or whatever you drive. Make sure you've got at least something on there, because it's free advertising essentially while you're driving around. Plus, it's professional, it makes you look professional. Clients will see you out and about, and it's just a good idea. Site signs. If you've got signs, put them up on your sites. If you don't have signs, get some made and put them up on your site. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of contractors, I ask them, okay, you've got these projects. Do you have site signs set up outside your projects? Well, I think one or two, or I've got signs, but I haven't set them up yet. It's like, why? Why? You've got the signs, put them up. It's again free advertising, free marketing, and is just go do it. Plain and simple. Have site signs on your sites. It gives everybody in the neighborhood knows who you are. Everybody who comes there for their friends, because what are your clients going to do? They're going to show their friends on the weekend or during the week. They've got company over. Maybe they've got their parents they want to go show their new home to, so they go drive around the development or what have you. Have your site signs up. Super important. Door hangers, another great one is get door hangers made. Have on the door hanger say, hey, we're building in your area. If you'd like a free estimate or free quote, contact us. Go put that on every single door on the block or 2 blocks or 3 blocks around your projects. You don't have to do it. Get your guys to go do it. You can do it if you want while you're there, but I would suggest just have one of your guys, or if you've got an admin person, they've got to go to the site, they set up the sign, they go deposit the door hangers. It's again, your people in that neighborhood now, it's like across the street, they see your sign, they pick up your door hanger, they see your truck or your vehicle drive by, they see your guys every day. You're building a really warm market and hitting them with a lot of touch points, and they're like, hey, we're kind of considering doing our kitchen reno next year, but maybe these guys are here right now and I can get them to do an estimate. And for you've got to go to the site probably anyways, so how easy is it to go to the site, check your guys, check the progress, and then just walk across the street to go do an estimate? So it's a beautiful thing, it works really well, and it's very easy, and you're spending fractions of a penny on door hangers. So it works on so many different levels. Do that. Next one is swags, so shirts, hats, hoodies for your guys, for yourself, for your clients, for your family. Get nice stuff made. Don't just have some generic like printed thing with your logo on the chest that no one's going to want to wear. Have a nice golf polo or hoodie or something that your guys are proud of. It's not super commercialized, like just having your huge logo on there or something like that, but something people would actually wear out. Have giveaways, give them out as prizes, but swag is always a great thing. People like getting free stuff, and your crew should definitely be decked out so that again it's very professional, and whenever they're out, they go for lunch, they go to the suppliers, they go wherever people see your company and your logo, and invest in nice stuff. Business cards, not going to mention too much. You don't need business cards nowadays, but it's good to have. Again, you can just drop them off in mailboxes, or it's easy to give to people. You can leave them on the counter, if you're whatever, just after an estimate or something like that. And then a company brochure or presentation is always nice. Brochures are kind of old school. Not too many people are going to read through a brochure, but it's nice to have. In some situations, you can always give those to like real estate agents. So let's say a real estate agent's doing an open house. They know it's a little bit of a fixer-upper. Maybe you just have a good connection with them. Ask the real estate agent, hey, do you mind just putting this stack of brochures in your open house? I'll refer people to you that if I know that they want to sell their house or they're thinking about buying a new home, and you can do this for me, and we can exchange referrals that way. Great way to bring in some more business. And often people that are looking at homes, they are probably going to want some sort of renovations. They're going to want to change the paint, the carpets, whatever. So there's just one small thing. If you build new homes, then there's going to be realtors in the new developments who are probably going to have like open houses or like a specific house that's just they're there like all the time. So if you can get in there and get a brochure in front of them, all the best. As well as you can use it as a marketing material when you do estimates. If you got like it on your laptop or your tablet, you can run through the brochure quickly on your tablet, or like a quick video or something with clients. So it doesn't have to be an actual paper brochure. It could just be like a presentation, like a slide deck or something that just kind of goes through, this is our business, it's how long we've been in business, this is why people trust us to do the renovations, here's a few similar projects we did or whatever. It's just a really good marketing material to provide, gives you that professional kind of polished touch. So making sense, that's the physical marketing in a nutshell. Last and final area here we're going to touch on, and actually the most effective part of marketing for any business, contractors especially, because there is those trust barriers and some stuff out there from clients, and that is referrals. So there's going to be a number of things to refer. However, referrals are such an important part of your business. And yet, do you have a referral program? Do you have referral scripts? Do you have a way of generating more referrals? So it being such an important part of lead gen, because referrals are always warm, you're generally going to be able to close them easier and quicker. They are going to be better clients because generally someone's already had a good experience with your business, and now there is another client from that person who's like coming in. So generally they're going to be similar types of people and also be really great clients. So that being said, how important is referrals? Almost every contractor is like, yeah, a lot of our business comes from referrals. Yeah, we want word of mouth. We want to get our name out there. So why don't you have programs in place? Why don't you follow some of the steps I'm going to be sharing with you in just a moment here for generating more referrals? So you're in the right place. Stick in here. Save the best for last. So referral program. What does that mean and how do you set one up? It can be extremely simple or it can be very complicated, but I like to keep things simple. So referral program, simply if someone refers business to you, make sure that you are referring business to them, or that you're giving them a gift card, or you're sending them a note, or at the very least giving them a phone call and really appreciating them so much for sending you a referral, and that you are letting them know how that referral went. Depending on who it is, if it's another business or professional, then maybe you may have an understanding of like, hey, you send business to me, I'll send you, $1,000 as a thank you if it's, a large project, or I'll send you a percentage of revenue or whatever, and then put that in the estimate. So if you're like, yeah, like you send business to me, I send business to you, and we'll just give each other like, 1% or 0.5% of the business that we do. Just put that into your estimate. There you go. Bob's your uncle. They get paid and they're happy, and you're not out any money because you baked it into your estimate that you provided. That's about as complicated as a referral program as you need. Is to simply make sure you just really appreciate people. And then when people do refer other people to you, you need to be pre-gaming it with how do you want them to refer them to you. So often we just say, hey, if you know anybody, have them reach out to me or let me know or whatever. It's very vague, and you're not really giving people instructions of how they should refer people to you. So when you ask them, hey, do you know anybody else who might be considering a renovation or what have you, and they may say like, yeah, my aunt, whoever is like, I know they're talking about they want to upgrade their home and stuff like that. Can we call them right now? Do you think we could call them and just like quickly chat? If that's a little bit too much forward, and I know some people aren't going to be able to comfortable with that, but if you can get them on the phone right away and it's like the other person calling, you're going to be so far ahead, because so many times people are just kind of like say nice things and then sort of forget about it. Or you could be like, hey, why don't we send an email right now? You should have an email template readily available, on Google Drive or somewhere where you can just pull it in and just kind of like text it or send an email to your client. It's already built out and they just have to put in the name, put in, it's already got your information. Maybe it's got your website on there. You make it super easy for them. So is that making sense? You always want to make it super easy for the person referring, and you don't want to complicate things. I know sometimes it's like people do an estimate for somebody and then they kind of want that person to, hey, can you call them? And like they haven't got back to me. Do not make them the third wheel to this relationship. Once they refer you, then it should be handed off. You then take over. Don't make more work for the person referring you, because the next time they want to refer someone else, it's like, well, I referred that contractor last time. They did good work, but they tried to involve me, and then they like the person didn't get back to them, and then they're reaching out to me to try to get in touch with them, and it's just like I don't think I want that, right? So again, just make it super easy for them. But if they remember, like, hey, yeah, I passed it off to my aunt or whoever, and they did an amazing job, and then they sent me $100 gift card for some fancy restaurant where I went and got lobster and had a great experience, or to the movies or something, how likely are they going to refer you again? So very likely. So that is all there is to it, to like a referral program. The other thing I was going to mention about referrals is have a follow-up process. So if someone said they're going to refer, or they did refer and they sent an email, then have a follow-up process. Make sure you're following up with them, but also don't just follow up, with the lead if they don't get back to you or whatever, but follow up with the person who referred, just to send them a quick email or a quick call. Always super appreciate them. So just, hey, thanks for sending, that referral for your aunt. We're doing an estimate for her. I think we're going to do great work for her. We'll see where things go from here. I just wanted to super appreciate you for referring me, and just wanted to let you know that, we've been in touch and we're looking at doing a project for her. It just gives you a nice feeling, and it lets them know where things are at. Because if someone sends you a referral and then they never really hear back from you, it's like, yeah, I sent them like 2 or 3 referrals, but I never really know if they actually got business from it, or if they did a good job, or what happened with it. So make sure you're following up and getting back to the people that refer you. Next thing I'm going to touch on is trade and vendor partner list. So your professional network, you should have a network of people that are consistently referring business to you. And if you don't have people like other professional business owners or professionals that are consistently referring business to you, then you need to step up your game and really make it a big part of your outreach. So myself, I make it a habit of having regular reminders that I need to reach out to my power network, power base as I call it, of people that I know that have, similar businesses or different businesses, just professionals in my network, touching base with them from, every so often. Doesn't have to be like every month or anything, but maybe quarterly, semi-annually, but touching base with those people. And then also doing outreach. So asking those people, hey, do you know any, if you're a home builder, you've got some professionals, you could, hey, do you know any good real estate agents? Or I'm looking forward to connect with more designers. I've got some projects coming up and I need a really good architect. Frame it as in you've got a lot of business and you need to connect with these people so that you can get them on your team to help your clients. You don't want to be just reaching out to kind of random people and being like, hey, you got any work? Hey, you got any clients? No designer or architect or real estate agents, wants to work with a business who's just always trying to like pull referrals. It should be a reciprocal relationship. So frame it as in you're a contractor, you're a professional, you do great work, you have clients, but you don't provide design services. You don't do architectural, you don't do engineering, you obviously don't do real estate, but you have clients who purchase homes, who sell homes, who upgrade, who build their homes, who invest in homes, who need real estate agents. So you want to connect with them and they'll be a lot more open to connecting with you. Keep track of these people, keep a list of them, keep reaching out to them, keep them warm. Again, build that referral network of people. And in life, what you give is kind of what you get. So the more referrals you can give people, the more likely they're going to refer to you. So be proactive and take the first step with sending out referrals to them. And then partner network outreach. So again, just really setting the stage and having a regular outreach to people that you could partner with. So this could be something where it's a little bit beyond just referrals, but you could actually partner with other businesses where maybe when they finish something, this works good for trades businesses. For contractors, it could work better. It's kind of that real estate agent and contractor kind of pairing that I mentioned before, where maybe they could put your marketing materials, in the open houses, and maybe you could put a, small link on your website or something. I wouldn't muddy the waters too much, but look for people where there's like that. It's more than just referrals. You can actually kind of be partners, not legal partners in business, but partner your businesses where they have services that dovetail really nicely with the services that you need. Designers, architects, like I mentioned, are really good. Tradespeople, it could be like if you know like a cleaning company and a moving company, and obviously sometimes when people are moving, they need a cleaner. Or if you're a landscaper, then maybe like a exterior home washer or something like that. There's these different industries that work really good together. So follow. I hope you got all those 47. I want to commend you for being on this video right to the end. You are going to do amazing thing. Come back, get those 47 in place. If you got any questions, drop some comments below. I will answer your questions if you need clarification. Here's the best to you. Here's the market. Here's a huge river of new leads to your business.